Okay, so have you ever noticed how at work it's like all of a sudden everybody's got some kind of ache or pain?
Yeah.
One person's complaining about their wrist hurting, then someone else is like, oh, my shoulders are killing me. It's like a symphony of aches and pains, right?
It really is. Like, we're not exactly, out there doing construction or anything,
Right.
but our bodies are really feeling it.
It's true. Like we think of manual labor, now it's like clicking and typing and scrolling all day.
Exactly.
But it turns out those repetitive motions, they can actually lead to some real injuries, like carpal tunnel syndrome, tendinitis, tennis elbow things we used to associate with like athletes, right?
Yeah. You would think so, right?
I would think. So let's talk about these unseen workplace injuries. What's really going on?
Well, I think a good place to start is with something called repetitive strain injuries.
Okay, RSIs.
RSIs, yeah. And it's basically an umbrella term for a whole bunch of different injuries
Okay.
that are caused by, well, doing the same thing over and over again.
So like clicking a mouse.
Clicking a mouse, typing, even just like holding your phone.
Oh, yeah.
In that same awkward position.
It can all add up, right?
It can all add up, exactly. And, the thing is, these injuries, they tend to kind of sneak up on you.
They do.
It's not like you just suddenly wake up one morning and you have carpal tunnel.
Right.
It's like gradual.
Yeah, a little ache here, a little pain there.
Exactly. And then before you know it, it's a real problem.
It's a chronic issue. So let's talk about carpal tunnel, because I feel like that's one that we hear a lot about.
Definitely.
What's actually happening in our wrist when we get carpal tunnel.
So you've got a nerve. It's called the median nerve. It runs from your forearm into your hand.
Okay.
And it goes through this little narrow tunnel in your wrist called the carpal tunnel.
It's literally a tunnel.
It's literally a tunnel, yeah.
Okay.
Now, what happens with carpal tunnel syndrome is the tendons in that tunnel, they can get inflamed.
Okay.
So often from, repetitive movements like typing or using a mouse. And as those tendons get inflamed, they start to squeeze on that nerve.
So you've got this nerve and it's getting literally like pinched.
Yeah, pinched, compressed.
Yeah.
And that's what causes all those uncomfortable symptoms.
So what kind of symptoms would tip us off that, hey, maybe we've got carpal tunnel brewing here?
Well, probably the most common one is numbness and tingling in the fingers.
Okay.
Especially in the thumb, index, and middle fingers.
Gotcha.
You might also feel some weakness in your grip.
Okay.
Like you're having trouble opening jars or holding things.
So that's not just me being weak.
It could be carpal tunnel.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And it can even cause like pain that shoots up your arm.
That's right. And the thing is, if you ignore it, if you just kind of push through the pain,
Right.
it can actually lead to permanent nerve damage.
Oh, wow. So that's not something to mess around with.
Definitely not.
So how common is this? Are we talking like a few people here and there?
No, it's actually pretty common. It affects about 3 to 6% of adults.
Wow.
And it's even more common in people who, work at desks all day.
Yeah. Makes sense with all the typing and mousing.
Exactly. So if you're spending a lot of time on a computer, it's definitely something to be aware of.
Okay, so carpal tunnel, not good.
Not good.
What about some of these other RSIs? Tendinitis, tennis elbow?
Yeah, so tendinitis is basically inflammation of a tendon. Those cords that connect muscle to bone?
Right, right.
And it can happen in any tendon, but it's super common in the wrists, elbows, and shoulders.
Okay.
Because those are the areas that are getting, overused in a lot of these desk jobs.
So even something as simple as clicking a mouse or typing can lead to tendinitis.
Yeah, each little movement puts stress on those tendons, and over time,
Right.
that can lead to inflammation, pain. You might even find it, hard to lift your coffee cup.
So everyday tasks become painful.
Exactly. And then tennis elbow, or what we call lateral epicondylitis.
Okay, fancy name.
Fancy name.
But I thought that was like a tennis player thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a misnomer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can be caused by playing tennis, but it's just as common in people who spent a lot of time on the computer.
Really?
Yeah, especially if you have bad posture or your workspace isn't set up ergonomically.
So like all those little movements, clicking, typing, moving the mouse around, that can all contribute to tennis elbow.
It all adds up.
So this is kind of starting to paint a bleak picture of desk jobs.
Well, yeah, but it's not all doom and gloom, I promise.
Okay, good.
There are definitely things we can do both to prevent and treat these injuries.
Okay, good, because I need some good news.
We'll get into that.
So let's talk about what we can do to protect our bodies from this modern workplace peril. What can we do?
Well, massage therapy can be incredibly helpful.
Okay, I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah.
But how does massage actually help with these specific workplace injuries?
Well, different massage techniques can be used to target different problems.
Okay.
For example, for carpal tunnel, myofascial release can be really effective.
Myofascial release?
Yeah, and it often works really well when it's paired with some like gentle wrist stretches.
Okay, so myofascial release, that sounds kind of intense.
Yeah.
What exactly is happening there?
So basically, it's a technique that focuses on releasing tension of the fascia.
The fascia.
Which is this like thin but really strong connective tissue.
Okay.
It surrounds all your muscles and organs.
Oh, okay. So it's like a web almost.
Yeah, it's like a web that runs throughout your whole body, connecting everything.
Okay, so I'm picturing this web of fascia.
Yeah.
How does manipulating that help with something like carpal tunnel?
So when the fascia gets tight, it can restrict movement and put pressure on nerves and blood vessels.
Okay.
And in the case of carpal tunnel, that tight fascia in the forearm and wrist, it can contribute to the compression of that median nerve we were talking about.
So by releasing that tension, we're giving that nerve some space to breathe.
Exactly. And that can really help alleviate those symptoms of numbness and tingling and pain. Plus, myofascial release also helps improve circulation.
Okay.
So it's bringing fresh blood and nutrients to the area, which further promotes healing.
So it's not just about like brute force, it's about really gently manipulating that fascia to kind of improve that blood flow.
Yeah, gentle pressure and, stretching the fascia.
Okay, but does it really work?
It does. There's actually research that shows that people with carpal tunnel who receive regular myofascial release, they see significant improvements in their grip strength and a reduction in their symptoms.
So I can finally open that pickle jar.
Exactly.
Sign me up. Okay, so we've talked about myofascial release for carpal tunnel.
Right.
What about tendinitis? Are there massage techniques that are good for that?
Yeah, trigger point therapy can be a game changer for tendinitis.
Trigger point therapy. Okay, so what are trigger points?
So you know those like tight knotted spots that you sometimes get in your muscles?
Oh yeah. Especially my shoulders, they feel like little pebbles under my skin.
Yeah, exactly. So trigger point therapy targets those specific points to help release that tension.
Does it like break up those knots?
It can help to kind of release them. But applying pressure to those trigger points, a skilled massage therapist can help alleviate the tension, reduce pain, and restore function.
So it's more targeted, right? It's not just like a general massage. It's really going after those problem areas.
Exactly.
But how does that help with tendinitis?
Well, when those muscles are tight and knotted, they can pull on the tendons, which causes inflammation and pain. So by releasing those trigger points, we're reducing the strain on the tendon, allowing it to heal.
So it's almost like untangling a knot in a rope.
Yeah, it's a big analogy.
If you release that tension, the whole thing flows better.
Exactly. And like myofascial release, there's research to support the effectiveness of trigger point therapy for RSIs.
Yeah.
People experience significant pain reduction and an improvement in their range of motion.
So they can move more freely, less pain.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got myofascial release for carpal tunnel.
Right.
We've got trigger point therapy for tendinitis. What about tennis elbow? Is there something that can help with that?
Yeah, deep tissue massage can be very beneficial for tennis elbow and other types of tendinitis as well.
Deep tissue massage, that sounds like even more intense.
It can be a bit deeper.
Yeah. I'm imagining like elbows getting wrenched around.
It's not about pain, but it does target those deeper layers of muscles and connective tissue to address the root of the problem.
So it's not just like a surface rub, it's getting in there.
It's getting in there.
Working out those deep knots.
Exactly. And deep tissue massage can help to break up any adhesions.
Adhesions?
Yeah, they're basically like bands of scar tissue that can form in muscles and tendons.
Oh, okay.
And they can restrict movement and cause pain.
So it's kind of like ironing out the wrinkles in our muscles and tendons.
I like that, yeah. And by increasing blood flow to the area, deep tissue massage also promotes healing, reduces inflammation.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how massage can be a really powerful tool for addressing these workplace injuries. But what about preventing these issues in the first place?
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do besides booking a massage every week?
Absolutely. Prevention is always key. There are a lot of simple things you can do to protect your body.
Okay, give me the tips.
Okay, well, first and foremost, let's talk about ergonomics.
Ergonomics, so like how we set up our workspaces.
Exactly. Your workspace should be working with you, not against you. And investing in ergonomic equipment can make a world of difference.
So like what kind of things do we talk about?
Well, this is about a standing desk.
Okay.
So you can alternate between sitting and standing throughout the day. A supportive chair that promotes good posture, an ergonomic keyboard and mouse designed to minimize strain on your wrists and hands.
So it's really about making sure our bodies are in alignment, that we're not putting unnecessary stress on certain joints and muscles.
Exactly. It's not just about preventing pain. It's about optimizing your performance and well-being.
Right. Okay, I'm sold on the ergonomics. What else could we do?
Don't underestimate the power of stretching.
Stretching, yeah.
Regular stretching breaks throughout the day are crucial.
I'm so bad at remembering to do that.
I know. It's easy to get caught up in work and just sit there for hours.
Yeah.
But even a few minutes each hour can make a difference in preventing that stiffness and tension that leads to those chronic injuries.
So what kind of stretches should we be doing?
There are a lot of simple wrist, arm, and shoulder stretches that you can do right at your desk.
Okay.
You can find videos online. There are apps.
So we can do it while we're sitting there.
Yeah. You don't need any special equipment. It's like giving your muscles a mini vacation.
A mini vacation. I like that. What about coffee breaks? Those are good too, right?
Absolutely. Those short breaks from your desk are actually doing wonders for your eyes, your wrists, your shoulders.
Okay.
Stepping away from the screen, even for a few minutes, gives those overused muscles a chance to rest and recover.
So it's not just the caffeine boost.
No, it's really about giving your body a break.
I like that those coffee breaks are like mini recovery session for our bodies. So those coffee breaks are like mini recovery sessions for our bodies.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. But what about like actually moving around, getting some exercise into our workday?
Yeah.
Does that play a role?
Absolutely. Our bodies were designed to move, not just sit in the same position for hours on end.
So we got to fight that sedentary office lifestyle.
Exactly.
But how do we do that, realistically?
Well, even small changes can make a big difference.
Okay.
Instead of sending an email, walk over to your colleague's desk and talk to them in person.
Oh, yeah?
Take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Little things.
Little things, yeah.
What about, like, actually incorporating exercise into our workday?
Mm-hmm.
Is that realistic?
It can be. Maybe you could organize walking meeting with your team or suggest a lunchtime yoga or Pilates class at the office.
Office yoga, huh? I can just imagine my coworkers trying to do downward dog between their desks.
Hey, you never know. It could be a team-building activity.
Yeah.
But seriously, even just a few minutes of exercise a few times a week can make a big difference.
Okay, so hitting the gym a few times a week, that can help prevent carpal tunnel and tennis elbow.
It can definitely help that. It strengthens your muscles and helps prevent those overuse injuries.
I'm all for that. But what about, those of us who aren't exactly gym rats?
Right.
Are there any, desk-friendly exercises that we can do?
Definitely. I would say focus on exercises that strengthen your wrists and forearms.
Okay.
Since those are the areas that tend to get overused at the computer. You can even use light resistance bands. They're super easy to store in a desk drawer.
Resistance bands, I like it. Okay. So we've talked about ergonomics. We've talked about stretching, taking movement breaks, strengthening exercises. Is there anything else we should be doing?
Well, as much as I advocate for all of those preventative measures,
right,
sometimes you just need a little extra help. And that's where massage therapy comes in.
Like, bring on the massage. But I thought we were talking about prevention.
Yeah, but think of it this way. Massage is like the ultimate workplace hack.
Okay.
It's not just about treating existing problems. It's about proactively taking care of your body.
Right.
To prevent those problems from developing in the first place.
So regular massages are like preventative maintenance for our bodies.
Exactly. Just like your car needs regular tune-ups to run smoothly, your body needs regular tune-ups to function at its best.
I like that.
Yeah.
So by getting those regular massages, we can help release tension, improve circulation, reduce inflammation.
All of that.
Keep our muscles and joints happy and healthy. I'm in.
Good. It's about being proactive, investing in your well-being, and when you feel good physically, it translates to every other aspect of your life.
Love that. So it's not just a luxury, it's an investment in our health of productivity. So even though it doesn't feel like we're doing hard labor, our bodies are really taking a beating in this modern workplace.
Yeah, all those repetitive motions and awkward postures, it takes a toll.
It does, but by understanding the risks and taking those proactive steps,
right,
we can protect ourselves. We can stay ahead of the game.
Exactly.
Keep those muscles happy.
Happy muscle.
Keep those joints moving and those nerves from getting pinched.
Yeah. So next time you feel that twinge in your wrist,
right,
or that stiffness in your neck,
yeah,
remember you have the power to take control.
Listen to your body, make those changes, and don't hesitate to seek out the support of a qualified massage therapist.
That's right. Your body will thank you.
And on that note, think of it this way. Just like you schedule regular maintenance for your car, to keep it running smoothly, your body also needs those tune-ups. And massage is like a tune-up for your muscles and joints. So consider adding it to your wellness routine. It's an investment in your health and productivity that allows you to, work and live pain-free.